Okay, since I only have one item for my week 8 analysis, I'm going to go ahead and do this video early too, since I went ahead and finished up everything today. The only thing I have for week 8 is my novel 1984 by George Orwell. I'm not going to go into too much depth because I did a pretty lengthy analysis in my folder collection of ideas on my wiki, but I don't want to summarize too much because I know you don't like that, but I need to a little bit so that I can sort of relay how my novel's collected to my theme. I'll just do a very brief thing. The beginning of the book's really not important, but what's important is these people live in the society, they're controlled by the government in a way where they aren't able to think or do for themselves. These two people, Winston and Julia, they think that they're going to be able to defy the odds because they meet each other and they fall in love, and they're one of the very few people in the society that know what is being done to them is wrong. Everyone else is sort of brainwashed in a way, and they don't really understand that they're being controlled in every way possible. So Julia and Winston think that they can defy the odds. They think that because they love each other, because they're able to withstand from succumbing to the government's power, they believe that they'll eventually be able to overthrow the society, or else be able to get more followers with them and eventually start a movement to overthrow the society. Over the course of the book, many things happen that get them closer and closer to being able to fight against the party, is what it's called. But towards the ending of the book, they both get captured and they get taken to different places. And the author chooses to follow Winston in all of the different things that he has to go through as he's being tortured to try to get information out of him. And the funny thing is, it's actually kind of ironic, when they were talking of overthrowing the government before they got captured and everything, they always talked about how they were the ones that could defy the odds and nothing could stand in their way. But then once Winston gets into the room and he starts being beaten and tortured and starved, he starts to change his mind a little bit. The whole point of him having to be in this room is so that they can brainwash him into finally realizing that what his views of government are wrong and their views are right. And so they try to get him to admit that he doesn't love Julia and that he realizes it's wrong to, but he won't. And then after he's been in there for a couple months, he starts to realize that maybe this is the wrong decision for him too. So eventually he gives in and he tries and he tells them that, they can do whatever they want to Julia as long as they let him go, and that he doesn't want anything else to happen to him. They can torture her, they can kill her, he doesn't care as long as they let him free. And so then eventually they let him go back out into the world, into the society, because he's become brainwashed just like them. And he finally realizes that the only person that he needs to be loyal to is Big Brother and the party. And then one day he runs into Julia in the park, and they both see each other, and she's been let back into society as well. And they both stop for a minute and they start to talk, and they both end up admitting that they had given each other away at the end because they realized that their life was more important than their significant other's life. So the ironic part is that they realized that they thought that their love was going to last forever and that their love was going to be the reason that they stayed alive. But then they started to realize that their love didn't last because there was more important things that were at stake, like their own lives. And so when they were faced with all these different challenges, with all this pain and hunger, their love started to fade away from each other because they realized that they were more important than their love for each other was. And they thought that their love was what was going to keep them alive, but the fact that they were able to stop loving each other is what actually saved them in the end and got them their freedom back. Which ties directly into my point of love fading with the challenge. If something comes up like this and it's not always the best situation, love can fade and it can die away, just like in this book. And this is what I was talking about, how this novel relates directly to my last short story that I did an analysis on. A good man is hard to find, because in both cases, when people's lives are at stake, they realize, the things that really matter and the things that don't matter. And they realize that their love for each other mattered less than their lives did. And so that's how they were able to choose between it.